All right, welcome everybody to Extraordinary Lovers Podcast here at sextalkradionetwork.com. My name is Michael Gibson, and today I have a very special guest with me, and I cannot wait for you to meet him. He is amazing. First of all, let me just give you a couple of details about him. He is an international motivational speaker, CEO of Modern Flirting, the author of How to Meet Your Dream Girl Tonight, and The Psychology of Modern Flirting. He has 7 years of formal psychological training across multiple universities and is a trained therapist. He's also, in the last 15 years, been globally recognized as a lifestyle consultant and dating mentor. And during that time, he was voted the best new dating mentor, received numerous awards from leaders in his industry, taught over 1,000 students around the world, and is credited with preventing 17 suicides and creating over 50 marriages. So with his counseling background, with the kind of clients that he works with, including multi-millionaire entrepreneurs, programmers, marketing gurus, as well as struggling college students, this man is amazing. He's also, he's been everywhere also. He's been on MTV's Made, Oxygen's Bad Girls Club, the A&E documentary Born This Way. I could go on and on. Fox News, NBC News, The Great Love Debate, the 21 Convention Men's Conference. I don't know if you've even heard of that, but it's huge. The Social Hacker Summit, the World Dating Coach Summit. And he is a recurring guest on the radio show Waking Up in Vegas. Please help me welcome the highly esteemed Jared Psych Laurence.
Oh man, thank you for the amazing intro.
I'm known for my intros, my brother. Man, it's so good to see you again, man. The last time we spoke, my beloved Lori and I were on your podcast, and we had a wonderful time with you, chatting it up. And I said, man, yeah, I've got to have you on my podcast, because the men that I work with, I have a special niche that I do, and I feel like you really do have the stuff that might be a little bit missing in my programs, and I just had to introduce you to the group, to the world, world, this little section of the universe, if you will.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so intrigued and interested more about it, because I really do feel like it's like a symbiotic, almost relationship of, meet the girl, attract the girl, find her, the lifestyle, and then what do you do when you have her? Amazing sex, tantric sex, having mind-blowing orgasms. So it was cool meeting you and Lauren, seeing the other side of this world as well. It was incredible.
I appreciate that, man. Well, let's take a few minutes and let's discover who you are. Now, I rattled off a whole lot of things about you, and that does tell a bit of a story. But then there's the man who grew up from a young boy and became who you are today. I mean, you have an extensive body of work that you've been working on, and we're going to get into the different things that you offer and the way that you offer it, which is really intriguing to me. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, where did you come from? How did you get to where you are today? Sure. And why dating? Why modern flirting? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's get into it. So here's the thing. I grew up not knowing about this world. I grew up as a lot of guys did. I was clueless. I was bullied. I was picked on. I was the shortest kid in my class. I was the fattest kid in my class. I had no friends. I had 2 friends growing up through, middle school and high school. And I was just clueless. I loved comic books. I was the little doughy boy who had no idea what he was doing, right? And when high school came and there was, I started liking girls, or middle school even, I started liking girls, I realized they're not liking me now. I have a problem here. While some guys just naturally had it, right? Like girls just gravitate to them. I was quickly realizing that was not the case with me. I remember, in high school, trying to convince a girl, let me do your math homework just for a hug. And she agreed, and I did her math homework. And then when I went for the hug, she goes, oh, dude, no. I was just about that. I remember one of those 2 friends invited me to my first ever house party. I was so excited, couldn't wait to be at this house party. And I get there, and then the girl throwing it looked at my friend with me right there, goes, why the hell did you invite Jared? I didn't want him here. And I'm just like watching this. I remember, a foreign exchange student coming into my school, and by the grace of God, deciding to date me because she didn't know any better about my reputation. And I thought she was the one. I was hopeless romantic. I was saving myself for marriage for her. I wanted to, I was a virgin. She was a virgin. We did it for a year and a half. And then she broke it off with me. And then 2 months later, she lost virginity to another guy. Oh. And I had to go, what the hell is wrong? A year and a half, and she didn't want to be with me. I remember my prom night in high school. For prom night, I found a girl online because no girl would go up to prom with me. I was so excited. I finally found a girl who convinced her to go to prom because she'd never been to prom herself. And I took her with me. Long story short, at the end of the night, she ended up sleeping with another guy in the bathroom on my prom night. And to this day,
no.
We changed to go to the after party, and she left her dress in my car. I still have the prom dress that she wore to remind myself where I came from and why I do what I do.
That's awesome, man.
Oh
my goodness. My brother.
Yeah, I go to college after this, like thinking, everybody's like, oh, in college, things will click, right? College, you find yourself. I decided I'm going to join a fraternity because that's how you get friends, you get women in a frat. I've seen the movies. And I pledged the fraternity. And for a couple months, they hazed me, fucked with me. And of the entire pledge class, I was the only one they said, you're not a good fit. We don't want your money. We don't want you to join the fraternity. There was something, I knew there was something wrong. I knew there was like I was not living the life I wanted to live. I didn't want to settle. I was on antidepressants. I was seeing a hypnotist. My password to my computer was life sucks. It was a daily affirmation I was writing because of how bad things had gotten. And the big click became, I decided to do something about it. The big paradigm shift came, this is a skill. I read a book and it clicked something in me. It said, this is a skill. You're a smart guy. You can learn.
That's right.
You can learn. I got good grades. Why not get good at this? If I study, if I apply, I can break it down. And so in college, I made my major psychology and I started studying everything under the sun. I started going out religiously day after day. I mean, you couldn't keep me in the house. I was obsessed about figuring this out once and for all. First to get women, but then once that started happening, I started morphing to, well, what about friends? What about all social things? What about being successful with social? What about a lifestyle? It was just a domino effect. And I realized I was constantly leveling up like a video game, and it was fun and it was exciting. And for a guy who, having these crazy sexcapades and adventures and living this rock star lifestyle, I mean, it got to the point where I was going into a nightclub with 15 girls. I would be bringing them with me. I'd be getting invites and getting free tables in exclusive clubs in Las Vegas, Miami, San Diego. I was getting invited to yacht parties, mansion parties, underground places, rubbing elbows with millionaires, multimillionaires. Yeah. And I'm just some guy, so it was really just what is going on? Something happening. And then people started to take notice. I was posting in forums, I was posting in chats, and people were like, you're doing something right. We want to learn more. And I was helping people out and giving my advice, and they're seeing it work. And then I got picked up by a bunch of different companies. They offered me to help coach for them. And I coached for tons of different companies over the years until finally developing Modern Flirting and really dialing in, how do I get what's in my mind and what I know into my students? And I spend so much time developing my craft as a coach, not even about being good with women and people and developing social circle, but really going, how do I best and effectively coach my guys and mentor them properly? And once, and it's always a work in progress, but now I'm so proud of what we've accomplished, where I can say, I don't think any other coach or mentor in the industry can say this, I'm posting wins and the results my students are getting every single day. If you're on my Facebook, pretty much every day, unless I forget that day or something, I'm posting the wins that my guys are making. And it's the most rewarding thing ever.
Man, you know what? I love the idea that that you call this a skill, because it really is, right? Everything in life that we've ever learned is either a skill, right? Or it's an ideology, or it's a belief, it's an idea system. And so I love that. I love that idea, because that's really truly how I teach men how to be extraordinary lovers. We pull all the skills out and say, what are you good at? And then we find out, and then we figure out where those gaps are, and we insert a skill. And it becomes a lifestyle. So it's amazing, man. one of the things that has really inspired me about you is that story, definitely. But I've got clients who are now with you who are having real transformation. So yeah, it's definitely about skills, but then there's something to it, man. There's like this thing called inner game, right? That I feel like that you've kind of mastered. Share a little bit about that, would you?
So the inner game, which funny, I have an inner game boot camp coming up in a few weeks, but the inner game aspect really I studied so much on the therapy aspect and how to change guys' minds and all this stuff. Here's what it comes down to. If I can teach people how to learn correctly, and most coaches and mentors don't do that, they just, here's the information, you're on your own, good luck. I guide my guys through a process and teach them how to be success-minded. How do you become successful where other guys fail? Giving the same information, but one guy gets good, one guy doesn't. How do you be that guy that gets good? What I realized, if I can teach them how to learn, teach them how to be successful, then all the inner game, all the other stuff, it's like a byproduct. It's like a domino effect. It just comes. As they get better, as they learn, the inner games, like, for example, like let's take abundance mentality. That's an inner game thing people talk about, and I talk about. The idea that you should be acting and living a life of abundance. If you had a bunch of women all around you, how would you act? How would you feel? What kind of decisions would you make if you had access to so many women? The best way to have abundance mentality is to have access to so many women. When you have that, how do you not have abundance, right? So much of this stuff auto clicks and auto connect. People spend years meditating. So I had one guy who I was talking to who's like, I try to spend 2 hours a day meditating to develop confidence, to develop a surety in myself, assurance, and to really destroy my anxiety. And I'm like, you're gonna be meditating a long time. Meditating is great for spiritual reasons and focus. But the best way to gain confidence is to become competent in something.
That's right.
Your guys, level up with their sex skills and they know how to please a woman. They become very confident in having sex.
That's right.
If you're a virgin, you can meditate all day, all night, but you're still not going to be super confident with sex. You're not going to understand the mindset because you don't have the confidence. So what I do is I give a holistic approach where I'm teaching my guys building social circles, inner development work, like reducing anxiety, approaching women, building attraction, escalating, connecting, playful humor development. We're talking about building up businesses and using social skills for businesses, entrepreneurship, for their health, both physical and mental. We're doing stuff for accountability to keep them on track. We're getting them feedback by real women every single month to let them know where their sticking points are. They're getting access to me. That's the difference between a mentor and a coach, by the way. I like the word mentor because they have direct access to me. They know they have somebody in their corner who's looking out for them versus what most guys in this industry do is show up to a call, I yell at you for a little bit. Now you're on your own. Good luck. Pay for my time. You want more? Oh, here, pay for more. Right? We don't do that here.
Right. That's good. I mean, I think that a lot of the men who encounter you are probably thinking to themselves, how am I going to do this? You know what I mean? Like, okay, this guy's, he's good looking. He's been at this a while. He knows what he's doing. He's got a successful, but how do I do that? How do I, some guy who's just coming up and maybe, and by the way, some of these men who are, I'm sure you encounter a little bit younger and then older.
Yep. I have guys in the program in their 20s all the way up to their 60s.
Yeah. So and that question, how do I become like that? You've created a system in order to really walk them through it very powerfully. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this cool system that you created? I'm impressed by it, and I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to steal your thunder. I'd like you to tell us about this cool thing that you've done and you've created.
Oh, so first of all, to comment on what you said earlier, the whole you're good looking, I wasn't. That's the thing. Grooming, anybody can do. Fashion, anybody can do. I still got a big old pot belly. I got a big old beer belly, whatever. I have guys who are short, who are fat, who are skinny, who are tall, who are whatever ethnicity. At the end of the day, these matter. These are factors, but it's not the end all be all.
Right.
The main thing is a term I call social influence. How socially influential are you? If you have that, and you know how to make a girl feel, you know how to be charismatic, you know how to interact at a high level with people around you, all these things are they don't matter. Honestly, no, part of me wishes they did, because I would have pushed myself to become more financially successful and to be more in shape a lot earlier on, because by realizing they don't matter, I was like, it takes away a lot of motivation, you know? So when you're a fat broke guy getting these gorgeous women, like it's hard to find motivation to go to the gym and to like, you know,
Cognitive dissonance.
yeah. If people are so obsessed, like especially the guys in the black pill community, they're so obsessed. It's looks and money, and it's just like, it's not nothing. It's a factor. It helps, but it's not the key thing. So that's one thing I want guys to realize. You know, there's stuff we can do. How the program works is I love to just give everything I have to my guys. Make sure they know they have someone they can rely on. Make sure they have every resource under the sun possible. The problem was in the second iteration of Modern Flirting, the feedback I'm getting, I'm always asking my students, how is this? How do I make this better? How do I best serve you? How do I get more of it? I want to milk as much results out of them as possible. And one of the feedback was it's overwhelming, it's confusing. There's so much that goes on here. So what I decided to do was, instead of just everything all at once and they just freak out, they short circuits them, I've created a belt system. And what I have here is both customizable and streamlined. It's customizable because guys can message me whatever they want about whatever. They can post in my group about anything they want whenever and get mastermind with the group. I do daily coaching calls with my guys where they can ask about whatever and customize it to them. They can get access to my library where they can watch whatever, download whatever, make it customizable to them, right? But at the same time, there's a proven path, a streamlined path that they can use by doing the necessary steps in order to get to your next belt. If you want to get the next belt, you have to follow the system. And once they get to orange belt, they get my master class, which is a monster. There's most people in a master class is like 8 lessons. You know, it's pretty simple, you know, which is decent. Mine's 30. They get 30 lessons. It's everything I know. I try to go so above and beyond, but every single thing I know on these topics into the video with exactly what to do. What in the masterclass, you learn exactly what you're supposed to learn in the right order, and you're going to be learning. You're going to be having assignments to do. So it's like, do this. You want to get good at this? Here, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, do these things. That's going to make you better at this. Whether it's going on the real world, whether it's drills, you know, whatever it might be, a worksheet. But I don't know. I'm very proud of it. I mean, honestly, looking at it, like you've got to try to fail to fuck this up. Like it's just
I'm blown away by it because you know, I've studied martial arts myself, and in martial arts there's always like the katas that you have to do, and there's the many different drills that you have to really learn. You have to make sure that your hand movements are correct, that your placement is correct, that your power is correct. All of that's included. And I really love this because this is exactly how modern flirting, how you've designed modern flirting so that men can actually move through a belt system, but the only way they get to the next belt is they've got to qualify for the last bit. Yep. That's awesome. And when I got the chance to look through some of your you know, your videos, and I was floored, man. I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. Guys, anybody could start out as a white belt and move their way up in a system like this.
And also shows you where the advice is coming from. You know, like if you're in the masterminding and you're asking questions and somebody's commenting, you see right next to their name, this is a yellow belt talking versus this is a brown belt, a black belt talking.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You get an idea of where this advice is coming from. And it also kind of makes it fun, I think. I think there's a part of it is like, it's, you know, results aside, women aside, it's fun to like level up and to like see that, yes, I earned something. I'm right. You know, whatever's happening this week, maybe this week you're killing it, awesome, but maybe you're not. Maybe this week you're struggling, but you know, like I've earned this, I know I'm not bad. I know like I'm just having an off week for whatever reason. It gives you something to like internal, something that gives you a sense of pride.
Yeah. I'm going to mention something. I'm going to kind of take us to the edge a little bit because let's tell the truth. When guys come to you, they're looking to get laid. I mean, who is it, right?
A lot of, I would say, let's be real, like probably 75% are guys who come because they want business help, they want social help, they want to get a relationship. I have older guys who come to me and they're like, look, I've been divorced, I don't want to go through that again.
Right.
So it's not just about getting laid, but obviously, like we're all men here, and even women hearing that, whatever, like it's a huge part of it,
Yeah.
and we have to acknowledge that and say it is an important aspect of this. It's not all about getting laid. I would say it's about self-love, self-respect, having these skills, being a master of processes. But yeah, like a lot of guys do come to me because it's like, look, I haven't had sex in years and I want to have these experiences with girls,
Yeah, and I think a lot of the guys will probably show up. It's not just about getting laid with as many women as they can, although for some men that's the goal, and not a bad goal so long as they don't leave a path of destruction in their wake, right? Like that's the scary thing, right? Yeah.
If a guy fucks 100 women and leaves 100 women happy, not let on, he's done it in an ethical way, power to him. That's amazing.
Right. Yeah, because he's actually leaving people fulfilled and satisfied, and I think that's actually kind of like being in service of woman in many ways, and so that's powerful. That's amazing. The thing that I think that really might put some men off, or even some women, is that you're a coach, man. You're teaching these guys the secrets that maybe women don't want you to know about them, right?
No, on the contraire.
Yeah, au contraire. Yeah. Check me out.
Actually, when women hear this and they come to my event and they look at this stuff, I have women in my program. I have girls that who see everything I'm teaching. They do drills with my guys. Women are always for free invited to my events to check it out themselves. When I get back from, there are exceptions. Some women can't get over the whole, wait, you're teaching guys how to have sex with women. Like some women get caught up with that. But the vast majority love what I do because ultimately, who does it serve? Yeah. I'm getting guys better for who? For women.
Right.
We're making men less creepy, less needy. We're making men better seducer. We're making guys more interesting, funny, confident. We're making guys better with their health, with their fashion. We're making guys, know how to keep a conversation going. We're stopping all these things women hate, and we're creating all these things women love. When they see it, they're like, a lot of times they say, thank you. You're making guys amazing. So this isn't like spilling. If I'm spilling the beans, it's not a bad thing. It's like women, imagine the flip side. Imagine a woman coach who's spilling the beans, teaching other women how to become more sexy. Are men going to be like, what the hell? What are you doing?
Stop that.
Yeah, stop, right? Like,
no.
It's never going to be a problem, right?
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's so funny that you say it that way because, one of the funny things about my work is that, I'll lay it out for a woman. I'll say, this is what I teach. This is actually what the benefit is and benefit to you even. And women are telling me all the time, they'll say, oh my God, I know so many men who need you. I mean, I thank you for what you're teaching in the world. And I'll go, great. And then I'll go talk to the men and I'll tell them the exact same thing, my little elevator speech. And they'll go, no, I'm good.
No, I don't like that. But a lot of guys, men have a lot of ego.
Yeah, right. Do you run into that at all?
Oh yeah, a lot of times. I mean, look, I don't push it. At the end of the day, I'm in a place where I'm comfortable. So yeah. I only want to work with guys who want, have this as a priority. They treat this seriously. They're committed. They really want to do the work because those are the guys I work best with. The guys who are like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. They want to dabble. They're just kind of whatever, but I'm already kind of good. I'm good enough. Now, we all have egos for something. And some of the work I do is helping remove that ego because it doesn't serve us. It only impedes us to grow. We see an example right here. The guy's truly having a life where he's not getting the kind of women he wants, but he has an ego trying to protect it and saying, no, I get women. I'm good. I'm great. He's impeding his growth in this area. His ego's hurting him. It's not helping him. But ultimately, so I'll do work with guys, deflating the ego and removing it. But ultimately, I want time for guys. I'm like, look, let me show you or not. If this is good for you, if this is something you care about, because with me, I was going to fight tooth and nail to get this down. Enough was enough. My mindset is like, I can either get this down, learn this, or die trying, or keep living the life I'm living, and that was not an alternative. So, there's two kind of guys who usually find it. There's one guy who's just no more pain. Enough is enough. I'm sick of it. I need the help. I was like, I got you, brother. I'm here. We're gonna do this. The second guy who finds me are the growth-minded guys. They're the ones who are like, I want to see what I'm capable of. It's not that even I'm that bad with women, sure, but they're not coming in from an ego place. They're just like, look, I'm decent, but man, I want to see what I'm capable of. I want to see what the next level is. I want to grow. And I didn't know that this existed, that I could find a place where I can take my shit to the next level, right? I mean, look at Olympic athletes. Yeah. They don't have coaches and mentors in their sport because they have a pain, because they suck. They're the best in the world. They have coaches and mentors because they know that's what's needed if they want to keep succeeding at the next level. So those are the two kind of people who you usually find.
See, that's great. And then every now and then you'll run across the guy that who's not interested. Well, that could change, right? I love that you're actually creating a community for these men, and it's so important because really men, I think we have like trust issues as kind of our baseline. Our default is we don't trust you, or we don't trust other men. Some of that has to do with some of the traumas that exist in life, and I'm sure you've done a lot of work being a therapist and actually working with people who were considering suicide. And this is a big part of it. I mean, there have been people who in our society who have been so held back or unable to crack the code or hack the code of how do I talk to women and how do I have a meaningful connection with women, that they've actually gone on the deep end and then gone and hurt other people. Several years ago, that happened in Florida. And so what is really important for us to hear here is that men actually do have a group of men who care about this kind of development. Because in reality, if you're a cis male, you're heterosexual and you love women, which I think is the larger majority of the planet. Not to not to diss anybody for any other gender, anything, but to just say that this is a fact, that many men are so unskilled, and their dads were unskilled and their grandparents were unskilled. They had no clue. It's really powerful to have a community of men who are like, you know what? Yeah, I got you, brother. We can handle this.
It really is amazing. I mean, the communities, I love it. I mean, it's such a positive place. Everybody's on the same mission, like a band of brothers type thing, where everybody's exchanging notes, helping each other out. And you're not alone. You know that there's other guys out there, awesome, great guys who are incredibly successful with other stuff as well. And you realize it's not you. You're not some broken thing. It's that this is wasn't taught. It's a skill. You learn a skill. So we're all in this together. We're all helping each other. We support each other. It's a place where no one's laughing at you, judging you, criticizing you. Everyone's just there to help each other, and that's so important, because when you feel like you're taking everything alone, it can seem impossible at times.
Absolutely, yeah. So we can go to modernflirting.com, right, to find you.
Yeah.
Find a little bit about you. And you're modern flirting on all of the social media places as well?
So no. So for Facebook, Instagram, type Jared Psych Laurence. That's me up there. So Jared, J-A-R-D, Psych. Short for psychology, so Psych, P-S-Y-C-H.
Yeah.
And then Laurence is with a U, L-A-U-R-E-N-C-E, not W. L-A-U-R-E-N-C-E. So, Instagram, Facebook, Jared Psych Laurence. You can find me on my website, Modern Flirting. You can email me, Psych, again, P-S-Y-C-H, @modernflirting.com. So many different, fun stuff that we can do. And look, if anybody reaches out and they want to talk, they want to set up, see if this is good for them, see if it's right for them, just get, know more about it and have me offer my advice. I like talking with anybody. I'm down to answer any questions, but if anybody wants to jump on a call with me, I'll even do whatever. If they say they're from you, they mention your name, Michael, I'll give them my book, Psychology Modern Flirting, for free. $25 value. I'll just send it to you guys. You can have my book.
Yeah.
My gift to you just for mentioning Michael's name.
Hey man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I got to tell you, I want to tell the men that are listening right now. I was actually on one of Jared's men's conferences where I got to go on and have a conversation with his men, and I'll tell you some of the best questions I've ever gotten from a group of men about sexuality, how to touch women, how to actually have a woman open to them. These are really good questions, and these men are really solid. And so I highly recommend your work. I highly recommend you personally. Go to modernflirting.com, or as Jared said, look him up online, Jared Psych Laurence, all over the place, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere else. And man, I so appreciate you coming on and being with us today.
Oh man, appreciate you having me. This is awesome.
Thank you, brother. You take care, and we'll see you again next time.
Yes, looking forward to it.
All right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us today on the Extraordinary Lovers podcast. Again, you can find us at sextalkradionetwork.com. Sextalkradionetwork.com. You'll find all of our episodes there. They drop once a week. And so find us there. And you can also find us all over the world on social media at Extraordinary Lovers TV. I'm Michael Gibson. We'll talk to you next time.